This massive area of spin headed our way for the weekend, and it's going to bring some impacts in the form of some very gusty winds, heavy rainfall, and the opportunity for some areas of flood. Your forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas starts right now.
This is Meteo Mundo.
Hi friends, Rusty back here at Meteo Mundo. We're your home for Caribbean weather, and it's fantastic to see you as always on a Friday. I hope you're doing well. Coming up in this video, this large feature, this big spin is going to be moving into our area. Boy, we're going to talk about some of the big impacts that will bring a lot of gusty winds, very heavy rainfall. It's going to kick up the surf and sea conditions for a lot of you as well. I've got your island by island rainfall forecast. We'll get you prepared for the weekend. As always, I love to hear from you guys. Let me know in the comments section below where you're viewing from, what the weather has been like, and we'll get started. First thing I'll do is just throw on the wind gusts here, and you'll see those populate on. These are in miles an hour, and it's been a very windy day across our area. We're talking about winds that have been 25, 30, 35, and even 40 miles an hour. And this is ahead of what's going to be even more wind brought to you by this huge spin sitting just northeast of the Lesser Antilles. Now it's bringing some impacts to some portions of the Lesser Antilles and Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico for today, but we'll talk about how this is going to get more impactful as it moves off towards the west. Looking at the surface analysis, that trough, which is over 1,000 miles long, is denoted by this dashed line in that L, that area of low pressure. Now look, it's not going to be a surface-based low. We're not going to get a tropical storm to develop out of this. But again, this time of the year, mid-level rotation and subtropical storms are possible, right? It's not truly tropical, but it's got some tropical characteristics. But again, regardless of that, I'll be closely monitoring it, but again, it's just a large, impactful system that'll be moving into our eastern areas for the weekend, and there's more impactful weather as well. You've got this stationary boundary, a developing gale for eastern sides of the Bahamas. Basically, the western Atlantic will start to see gale conditions for Bermuda to the eastern sides of the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos. So just a lot of wind-driven energy and trying to get more showers back into the northwest Caribbean as well. But this is such a massive feature. Let's start out with this. And again, you can see that it's elongated from north to south, but just to give you an idea, if I start up here all the way towards Bermuda and then come back down all the way back down towards Barbados, you're talking about over 1,000 miles. And by the way, that's not Bermuda, so don't get me wrong, Bermuda is way up here. But just to show you that, again, you've got over 1,000 miles of this trough that'll be moving in. So it's a huge feature here, and there's a lot of mid-level spin to go along with that. You can clearly see that spin kind of along that sheared north to south axis here. So let's talk about the weather that it's going to bring now, and then what's going to happen as it moves away, because the very interesting thing is that the weather that places like Antigua and Barbuda and Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands will see as the trough approaches will be completely different from what they're going to see behind the trough as it moves off towards the west. We've had scattered, fast-moving showers across the area for today. No huge pockets of heavy rainfall, but fast-moving rain with some very gusty winds. And some of this has just kind of been developing right over portions of the islands, Anguilla and St. Bart's and Sabin, St. Eustatius, St. Martin, and Antigua, Barbuda, Montserrat, all with the opportunity for a few brief passing showers here as this trough begins to move in. It's the same situation over the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico as well. Again, on this visible satellite imagery, you can see the clouds moving in from northeast to southwest. Again, the winds have been very steady here. It's just been a very brisk day across this area, 15, 20, 25 mile an hour winds, and it's all been wind-driven rain. When I show you the radar here out of Puerto Rico, you'll see what I'm talking about. Nothing is extremely concentrated, and I'm not worried about heavy rainfall the rest of today and tonight in these areas, including the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico, and all the Virgin Islands. But, quick moving showers. That's the forecast for us here, and a lot of wind. Right now, some good showers across interior portions of Puerto Rico. We have a couple of showers near San Juan, near Fajardo at the hour. We've had a few showers in Vieques and Culebra, in St. Thomas and St. Croix, and the rest of the British Virgin Islands as well. But, relatively speaking, it's been more wind than anything else. But eventually, this is going to change, and the opportunity to get some heavier rainfall in these areas is going to be something that I'll be monitoring here as we get into the rest of the weekend, right? Again, right now, not concerned about some of the heavier rain, but that's going to be a possibility. Got a couple of photos to show you out of the British Virgin Islands. This is from Brian, a beautiful shot here of the BVI, a little bit more tranquil weather there at that point in time. Appreciate Brian sending me in that photo. And then this is Chad, also from BVI, from Scrub Island. Now I hear that Brian and Chad are both on the same sailboat. One of them is the cook, the other one cleans the barnacles. I don't know which one is which. Maybe if one or both of them found the link in the description of the video to help support the channel, there would be more clarity on who is who and who might be the captain, but alas, we may never know. But I do appreciate Brian and Chad sending in those photos. And if you would like to send in a picture or video, email me, mymeteomundo@gmail.com. That's the simplest way to do it. Of course, include your name, where the picture is from. Want to give me a little description? That would be fantastic as well. On we move right now. Fast moving, mainly on the northeast sides of the Dominican Republic and Haiti. It's the windward sides of the islands that will get the heaviest rainfall as this trough spins in. Interior and leeward sides will get some rain, but if you live on the windward sides of the Bahamas and the Turks, the Caicos, and Dominican Republic and Haiti and Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, you're going to see that. And again, nice little spin right there. We really picked that up there on that visible satellite imagery. Of course, we lose that here as we get towards the end of the day. Now look, the rain is spotty from Guadeloupe, Dominica down towards Martinique. However, you get back into more moisture-laden air in the Windward Islands, and guess what? We have more excessive rainfall today for portions of St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and Barbados. As a matter of fact, as they're recording this late on Friday afternoon, there's an active flood warning for Barbados. They've had 2 to 3 inches or 50 to 75 millimeters in some spots for today. Some of that rain is coming off the higher terrain and causing some localized flooding in portions of Barbados. You live in that area, let me know in the comments section below how it's been going. But again, more moisture to play with down in this portion of the Lesser Antilles all the way down towards Trinidad and Tobago, helping to fire off more numerous showers for today, and some of that has been producing some excessive rainfall. It's still somewhat scattered in nature, but to get the opportunity. It's been a fairly quiet but wind-driven day across the ABC Islands today, Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. Water vapor imagery will indicate that they're in the red, which means they're in the drier air. And again, on this water vapor imagery, it's clear to see the axis of moisture with this trough that is going to beginning to move from east to west and punch that drier air back off towards the west. But we're also trying to get a few showers to develop at the hour off of the Caribbean coastline of Central America, trying to get a few showers for the ABC Islands, trying to get a few showers all the way up towards Honduras, places like Guanaja and Roatan, a few showers off of the Nicaragua and Costa Rica coastline. Very windy conditions for today. It's been relatively dry for my friends in the Cayman Islands and Jamaica. I hope you've enjoyed that. Could see a few more showers try and return over the weekend. This is not going to be, a lot of rain for this part of the Caribbean, but my friends in Kingston and Montego Bay and Negril, as that trough moves in and that spin moves in, we could get a few showers, especially on the northern sides of the island as well. In the Bahamas, enjoying a nice day, but it's, pretty windy out there. There's San Salvador with a 25-mile-an-hour wind gust. Freeport, Grand Bahama, 25-mile-an-hour wind gust. A little bit more cloud coverage for today. The air is still relatively dry, but rain chances will try and improve in those spots at least a bit. Let's get into the forecast, friends, as we do so. Thank you for liking this video. Thank you for subscribing to Meteo Mundo. Those are both very simple ways to support the channel. Again, thank you for sharing this with your family and friends. Thank you for the memberships, the super thanks. Again, you want to support the channel, you can also find ways via the PayPal and the Venmo in the description below. You can find those links. So let's get into the forecast here. And again, this is the big feature, and we're going to talk about how this is going to play out. Now, the first thing is, ahead of this trough, winds are going to be out of the northeast, and it's going to bring the fast-moving showers. But as this trough moves west, your winds will turn out of the south, more moisture-laden air will come back into your area, and then the showers slow down. And that's when we could see some heavier rain and some flood potential for the Lesser Antilles, the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, the U.S. and British Virgin Islands, maybe Haiti, Turks and Caicos, areas like that. So let me show you how this plays out on these wind vectors. You're going to get an idea, and then we'll take a look at the rainfall and look at some of the tropical characteristics of this as well. So I'm going to loop this up for the next few days, and you're going to get an idea of how the wind's going to play out as this trough moves through. Now again, ahead of this, we're still going to have kind of an east to a northeast wind, and it's going to be fresh. That's why the gale conditions are going to be picking up. Again, it takes just a second for this data to fully kind of pop on here. But eventually, as the trough moves away, your winds are going to be turning back out of the east to southeast, and that's going to pull in even more moisture. Look, I know it's December, but there's still a lot of lift in the atmosphere in the Eastern Caribbean. There's still an abundant amount of tropical moisture here, so it's going to be a story. And that's why we're going to stay with the active pattern for us here at least through Monday for these areas. So we need to get prepared for that. And even some of this moisture will be able to drive further off towards the west, bringing more rain to Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, and again, portions of the Bahamas as well. So again, let's loop this up now. It's fully going. You'll start to see there's that kink at the surface, but we still have the easterlies for the most part here. And then behind it, we'll start to see the winds turn just a little bit more out of the southeast. You can see that, right? And that's going to drive in some of that moisture. But the other big story is that the showers are going to be slowing down as that is the case. So again, ahead of it, fast moving wind-driven showers. Behind it, more southerly winds, much more slower showers, and that's why I'm concerned about the opportunity for some heavier rainfall there and some flood potential, just like Barbados is seeing for today. Near gale conditions will develop across the eastern side of the Bahamas, okay? 28 to 33 knot winds from time to time. Boaters should be very cautious here. We'll look at the sea conditions coming up. Winds will also stay out of the north for the most part in Jamaica and the Cayman Islands, and then turn easterly once that trough gets a little bit closer, and that's a little bit more moisture-laden air as well. Again, the air is relatively dry at this point in time, but you get the idea that this is such a big feature that it's going to bring up the sea conditions in a lot of spots, and then bring some pockets of very heavy rainfall as well. Let's get into the rainfall aspect of this, and then I've got your island by island rainfall forecast as well. So there's that broad spin, and again, could it become kind of subtropical system? It's a possibility, but also there's a front that it's going to be running into here. So the other situation with this is that it's going to stall, and there's an opportunity that could even get pushed back off towards the east. So that's why the northern side of the Lesser Antilles, the Leeward Islands in general, and the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic all have the opportunity for some heavier excessive rainfall. It's not going to be very widespread, but those pockets are going to be there. You can see the rain setting up for the weekend from Guadeloupe north, Montserrat, Antigua, Barbuda, Anguilla, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Martin, St. Bart's, Anegada, Virgin Gorda, St. Thomas, St. John, St. Croix. Wind-driven rain, heavier showers from time to time. It's an active pattern, especially on the windward side of the islands, right? You can follow that over Puerto Rico as well. My friends in San Juan and Arecibo will more than likely have more rain, Fajardo included, than places like Ponce and Yauco, which will either be inland or on the leeward side of this system, again, with the winds mainly being out of the north and east from time to time. Heavier rain will also try and develop over portions of the Dominican Republic. I'm still going to be favoring the northern coastline from Puerto Plata to the Samana coastline and Punta Cana. Still could see some good showers near Santo Domingo, but probably not as persistent wind and rain as the northern coast will get. Same thing for our friends in Haiti as well, where Port-au-Prince will see some showers, but not as much as the northern coast. Turks and Caicos could get some heavier showers out of this, again, especially on the northern sides of the islands, and then anywhere along the eastern sides of the Bahamas, you can see that wind-driven rain being spiraled in. Now, the air is a little bit drier here, so I don't expect excessive rainfall in the Bahamas, but rain chances will come up at least a little bit, especially in the southeast Bahamas, and then some of this moisture spirals into Cuba and portions of Jamaica. Now look, my friends in Kingston and Portmore and Spanish Town and Montego Bay and Ocho Rios and Port Antonio, chance is not going to be high. There'll be many dry hours and locations Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, but there'll be an improved chance, and you can catch a fast-moving shower in these areas. Let me know in the comment section below whether you look forward to a little bit of that rain or whether you would like a drier weekend. My friends in the Cayman Islands as well, same situation, fast-moving showers, and some of this activity will be able to spiral into Quintana Roo, Cancun and Cozumel, Chechbao, on over towards Belize City. And again, portions of the Bay Islands there off the northern Honduras coastline. Look how rapidly everything moves though. This area, I'm not too concerned about seeing excessive rainfall simply because of the fast moving nature of most of the rain. Let's go over to the rest of the Lesser Antilles here and show you what's going to be happening also for the ABC Islands. Give me 1 second here just to adjust something real quick and then loop that up. So we'll see some moisture also in play down here in the Windward Islands, right? It's a little bit separate from the main area of trough, but there's a little bit more south winds coming in here. So Trinidad and Tobago and Grenada and Barbados, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, St. Lucia, all with the opportunity for some good rain the next few days. Still going to be localized, but I can't rule out an opportunity for some flooding potential. Again, Barbados under a flood warning as we speak. This will shift west towards Nueva Esparta and at least bring a few scattered showers for the ABC Islands. Not going to be a lot of rain for Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao. You're kind of away from the main action here. But again, just to kind of point this out, you can clearly see that the moisture here is much slower moving overall compared to the Western Caribbean. A lot of rain overall, higher rain chances, but especially here, we got to watch out for the flooding concern. So let me show you what the European model shows as far as this area of low pressure, right? It does have a surface reflection. It kind of dissipates it as it runs into unfavorable winds as it gets to the Turks and Caicos, and then it pushes it back east by late Tuesday night. So again, you see this kind of skirting the Lesser and Greater Antilles, stopping over the Turks and Caicos and moving back to the east. This is why this area could have high rain chances at least through Wednesday. Bermuda will be included with some of that heavier potential rainfall as well. And you can see that again up here with some excessive rain possible. Still scattered in nature, but this is a pretty active pattern here for us as we get into, mid to late December. Wind gusts, holy moly, a lot of wind. This graphic shows you that. Look, anywhere you see green are winds of over 20 miles an hour. And there's just a massive field of wind coming in with this. You can see the gale conditions picking up in the Western Atlantic. You can see the stronger winds kind of sneaking into the Northwest Caribbean and just really solid winds across the Lesser Antilles as well. A lot of wind coming with this. So let's break down the rain chance. Again, it's not huge for the Northwest Bahamas. The air is just too dry. Slightly better chance Central and Southeast Bahamas. And again, fast wind-driven showers. Watch out for the gale conditions. My mariner friends, please be very cautious, especially in the exposed waters of the Atlantic. Turks and Caicos, 20 to a 30% chance for showers. Same situation, fast-moving rain. 30 to a 40% chance in Cuba. Cayman Islands, not a lot in the way of some showers. 20 to a 30% chance, but seas right now are running 7 to 9 feet near the Cayman Islands, so keep that in mind for boaters over the weekend. Belize City with a 30% chance for rain. Cancun and Cozumel, just a few isolated showers. Again, same thing for Jamaica, just about a 20% chance. Not excessively high, but a few more showers than what we've had recently. Then we get into the heart of where we're going to have a lot of rain. The Dominican Republic, 60% chance over the weekend, 70 on Monday. Same thing for the northern sides of Haiti. Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands, 70% chance tomorrow, 50 Sunday and Monday. Fast-moving showers tomorrow, then they slow up Saturday night. And even though the rain chances are lower Sunday and Monday, that's where we could have, and when we could have, the excessive rainfall in some areas. Moisture content going up with the south winds coming back in. Bermuda, it's a 30% chance the next few days. Anguilla, St. Kitts and Nevis, 50 tomorrow, 60 Sunday, Monday. 60 across the board with some heavier rain for Antigua and Barbuda. Montserrat, 50 to 60, 40 to 50. Guadeloupe, Dominica, Martinique. Good chance for rain, though. Same thing for St. Lucia, St. Vincent, and the Grenadines. 60% chance with some excessive rainfall again possible for tomorrow in Barbados and slightly lower on Sunday and Monday. 50 tomorrow for Grenada, 40 on Sunday, Monday, 40 across the board for T&T. Suriname and Guyana with a 40 to a 50% chance. Nueva Esparta, more isolated showers and a few quick-moving showers possible for the ABC Islands. Boy, oh boy, look at these waves, guys. Again, you see the green, that's bad enough. I mean, that's 7, 8, 9 foot waves, but then you get into the yellows, you're looking at 10, 12, even 14, 16 foot waves near the Bahamas. Again, I wouldn't want to be on the eastern side of the island. I'd want to find some sheltered locations and the windward side of the Lesser and the Greater Antilles as well. This is a snapshot of the Bahamas on Sunday morning, right? 7 a.m., 8 a.m. Sunday morning. Northeast wind, sea conditions near Grand Bahama, Walker's Key, the Abacos, Eleuthera, back down towards Cat Island, Long Island, Exuma, eastern sides, what, 8, 10, 12-foot waves. Please keep that in mind. Obviously, on the leeward side, things are much better, but it's going to be a concern. As far as rainfall goes, it looks like this. You'll see that large feature moving in, spiraling in with some excessive rainfall. The best rain, the highest rain, is actually going to be in the open waters of the Atlantic. But you can clearly see there's a couple of features here to talk about. Here's one, windward sides of the islands, your higher rainfall. Could get some decent rain developing off the east coast of Florida late in the period as well. That would be next week. We'll monitor that. Same situation along the Caribbean coastline of Central America. Mid to late next week, rain chances could be going higher as well. And you can clearly see the smattering of 2, 3, 4 inches of rain, 50 to 100 millimeters across portions of the Lesser Antilles as well. Generally speaking, for mid to pushing into late December, this is a pretty active rainfall map. That's what it looks like on the European model. This is what it looks like on the GFS model, and this is just over the next 5 days. Again, clear to see, just like the European showed, excessive rainfall north of the islands. And again, you see these yellows in just 5 days. The model says, hey, look, we're going to have 9, 10 inches of rain in a couple of areas. But appreciably for our spots, we get down towards Anguilla and Barbuda and St. Martin and St. Bart's, 1.5+ inches of rain. I think the model might be underdoing this just a bit, but you can again clearly see it's going to favor the northern sides of the islands compared to the southern sides of the islands, or the windward side compared to the leeward sides through all of these islands for the week ahead, right? Same situation here in the Hispaniola. You're going to favor for excessive rainfall on the northern leeward sides of the islands here. Again, relative to what this trough is doing, bringing in the northeast winds, and then across interior portions and the southern sides of the islands, not as much rain. Turks and Caicos could be in for some decent showers as well. And it might be just depending on where we are. You know, Grand Turk could see more than the Caicos. It just really is dependent, but 1.5, 2+ inches are absolutely possible. Could see a nice little bullseye there on the northeast sides of Cuba. More rain than what we've had lately, right? On the GFS model here in the Bahamas. Nothing outrageously high, but more rain than what we've seen. For the rest of the Lesser Antilles, again, pockets of heavier rain. There's that moisture I talked about coming out of South America, which could feed back into the windward islands and bring portions of Trinidad and Tobago and Port of Spain areas more than an inch of rain in a couple of spots. Barbados looking pretty good with some rain. That's a pretty solid number over St. Lucia and Martinique. Again, solid rain with this trough. Looking over towards Jamaica, as I mentioned, not as much, but it'll be the northeast side of the island with the best chance relative to the southwest side. And eventually down the road here, again, we'll be monitoring the Caribbean coastline of Central America for some excessive rainfall there. Pretty active pattern in the next few days. Friends, I appreciate you guys. You want to follow us across all social media, you can certainly do that. Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook. You want to send me a picture or video, mymeteomundo@gmail.com. As always, if you have a specific question about the forecast, feel free to drop in the comments section below. While you're down there, thank you for liking and subscribing to the channel. Friends, have a great rest of your Friday. I'm back soon with your latest forecast across the Caribbean and the Bahamas. Until then, you all take care, and I'll see you soon right here at Meteo Mundo.